Just a couple hours away from letting one of our week-long weather impact alert days start to run out. Thanks for joining us tonight. I am Hoyt.
And I'm Faith Woodard. Chief Meteorologist Tom Brandon explaining when we might feel slight relief in the forecast.
Yeah, some good news is in our forecast, and it's getting here sooner rather than later. We're close to the weekend. Mentioned that we've got a system over the Gulf that's going to provide us with clouds and moisture. Really, today we saw some outer bands of that moisture feed in eastern Arkansas. Nothing's really developed. It's still well unorganized, but will have an impact on our weather, and that's going to help us with temperatures. We still have the weather impact alert through 9 o'clock tonight. We'll see that go away, and then a heat advisory tomorrow, which is a step down. It's still going to be fairly hot outside. I'm not saying, hey, let's go outside and play outside in the heat for hours on end. No, it's still going to be hot tomorrow. But for right now, the heat warning is in effect, magenta colored, 110 to 115, and we're beginning to see temperatures cool off. It's tomorrow. Heat advisory. Counties in orange, including Pulaski County, could feel as hot as 105. So moving forward, right now, 97. We have not reached 100 yet in Little Rock. We're beginning to cool things a bit, very slowly. Notice the numbers. They're in the middle to upper 90s with heat index values in the low 100s. And radar shows that we have, over the last couple of 3 hours, some spotty showers in eastern Arkansas. More to come in Mississippi that will move in a little bit later on and then die out. But tomorrow we may see them refire. A spotty shower can't be ruled out, but a better chance of a shower or storm Saturday and Sunday. We'll take a look at our future radar in just a few minutes.
But he showed you those numbers on a day when it felt like 107. Police in Pine Bluff tell THV 11 that thieves targeted an apartment complex going after their AC units.
You can see that vehicle police say was involved right there. Police have already made an arrest within just the last 3 hours. According to Pine Bluff Police, the units turned up missing at the Broadmoor Arms apartment complex. And while police indicate there may have been multiple units stolen, we don't yet have an exact number on how many, nor do we know if the units were stolen from an occupied apartment.
But we did get some surveillance footage, and it's helped police. It's a recording from around 4 this morning, and you can see what appears to be a white pickup truck just sitting in the parking lot of the complex. Authorities say 2 people shown in this video are the ones responsible for stealing those units.
And within the last hour, authorities say they arrested Corey Thomas and Edward Reeves. The 2 are being held on potential felony charges. Our newsroom is working right now to get a hold of their mugshots. We'll provide those details once they're obtained.
Crisis stabilization units. They're designed to offer acute mental health care for people in a crisis.
Yeah, but the CSU run by Pulaski County closed this month after a decision by provider UAMS. THV 11's Brooke Buckner reports on the reaction to the closing and what may happen next.
I don't understand why something that helps people like this is being cut.
Douglas Bjork is the sergeant over property crimes at the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office. He tells me since the stabilization unit closed earlier this month, he's seen community members miss out on the help they need.
Sometimes he gets off his meds and he just needs a place to go to safety. Since this has been closed, the calls for us to go out to him has dramatically went up. He's escalated some different incidents. That's a safe haven for him.
Sergeant Bjork says the unit bridges the gap between needing to go to the emergency room or possibly jail.
They take that holistic approach to mental health, and it's definitely something that the community needs.
LaTory Jackson helps manage CSUs across the region and says closing one of the 3 in Arkansas affects a lot of people.
So with Pulaski being gone, that puts a huge dent in accessibility or resources, free resources that people can get going to the CSU.
UAMS has operated it up until this point. Although Jackson says the unit is rarely at full capacity, she calls it an important resource, and county leaders agree.
This was a big victory for mental health at the very good level in Pulaski County. And they've indicated to us that they simply don't have the resources.
Pulaski County Judge Barry Hyde says he's been searching for a new operator, but so far, no takers.
We need to find the funds for it because this is definitely an issue that doesn't just affect law enforcement, it affects the community as a whole.
In Little Rock, Brooke Buckner, THV 11 News.
Brooke, thank you. The spokesperson also says operating the CSU forced them to periodically close psychiatric beds at their own hospital. They're also working with the county to help them look for another contractor.
The buses got rolling early this morning as students began their first day of school in Hot Springs. Older students becoming the first to attend the brand new Hot Springs World Class High School building there. The district uses what's called a hybrid schedule with a much shorter summer break. It's designed, though, to reduce learning loss that comes over vacation.
Teenagers are teenagers. They're happy to be back. They are excited to see their friends. They're excited to see their teachers. It's hot outside, you know, it's going to be hot for a long time, but in September they get a week break, in October they get a week break, and then of course the traditional holiday season breaks.
Now the new high school building is the latest in the history of the district, with one of them, eventual President Bill Clinton, graduated from one back in 1964.
Two advocacy groups are now officially working together in a lawsuit fighting recent ballot and petition laws.
Yeah, a judge ruled that both are essentially arguing the same points over whether the new laws make getting voter petitions on the ballot too difficult. Kayla Davis explains the legal fallout.
New state laws implemented this year will require canvassers to be Arkansas residents, warn petition signers about fraud, check photo IDs, submit a compliance affidavit, and even have signers read the full ballot title aloud. Bobby Howard, the executive director of Arkansas Appleseed, one of the organizations under the ballot question committee Protect Our Rights, says these requirements make it difficult for everyday Arkansans to have their voices heard.
And if the state legislature acts in such a way that makes it prohibitively burdensome for us to exercise those legislative powers, Arkansans' rights are being violated. So we wanted to get these questions in front of a judge for some decisions going into this next petition signature collection cycle.
Protect Our Rights will specifically challenge the requirement for ballot titles to meet an 8th grade reading level and for canvassers to receive about 100,000 signatures from 50 Arkansas counties, rather than the previous 15.
If I sign a petition page, that's my political speech. And if the canvasser breaks a rule or makes a mistake collecting somebody else's signature, and then my signature gets thrown out, that's not fair, right? That's my political speech. It should be counted.
They will also challenge the law that says the state can reject the entire petition if any canvassing law is broken.
It ensures that ordinary groups like ours can't get a thing on the ballot, but the groups that can get a thing on the ballot have corporate sponsorship, corporate backing, are able and willing to spend millions of dollars and can pay for those canvassing programs to get into all those counties.
Howard says their ballot measure will ensure there's a cure period where a signer will be notified before the signature is thrown out to fix any issues. We reached out to the Arkansas Attorney General for comment in light of the update. AG Griffin tells 5 News, quote, "I respect the court's decision, which doesn't change our defense of the state. I remain steadfast and confident in our case."
Kayla Davis, thank you. Those same groups challenged a law put in place back in 2023 about the 50-county requirement. It stayed in place because the judge never reached a decision before last year's election.